Hi all, this is Paul at Open Wood Shop, which is my woodworking test kitchen to do, well, whatever I guess I want to do, which is another way of saying that I have a real problem focusing on any one thing. If you've come to this channel or the website openwoodshop.com for a while, you've seen some of the phases I've gone through perhaps. For a while, it was boxes that seemed to capture my attention. A good number of years, it was ancient wooden Indian canoes and kayak replicas, interpretations that I was making. So you never know where these projects will lead. Like, I would have never guessed that making skin on frame boats for my own use would lead to a bookshelf of indigenous watercraft studies. And now, as a lifelong musician, I'm finally getting around to making musical instruments. I've actually made a few over the years, but this is a more, shall we say, focused study. I'm starting with small ukuleles and working my way up. Cheaper mistakes that way. And of course, because I have a shop full of tools, along the way, small mini projects happen in the shop. Things for the yard and garden, home repairs, that kind of thing. And recently, I helped repair an interesting cabinet, an antique cabinet, and made a table from an antique Singer sewing machine. Both of them are family heirlooms. This small cabinet came into the shop in need of repair. It's probably over 100 years old and handed down to my brother's wife, Anna.
Okay, this is a washstand
Okay, wash.
basin
Uh-huh.
cabinet with good in the old farm, and there would be a pitcher of water and a basin on it, and you would come in from the farm field and pour some water in the basin and wash your hands.
Even though this is not fine furniture, we've got somebody put some work into this. These funky L brackets, those are coming off. Did this go like this?
Yeah.
Like that. The drawer slides are kind of crude, and that's what we're fixing today. I have no idea if they are original or not. They look like they could be. Each one is slightly different, so it was like a puzzle, and you're looking for clues like glue marks, places where the wood had been covered and so it was cleaner than the surrounding area, unique shapes and cutouts, that kind of thing. At one time, this one was apparently painted blue and then thankfully restored to a natural finish. Fixing the backsplash was the last thing to be done, and I decided that slot-headed bolts was a little more period correct, and I didn't like the garish zinc coating, so I blackened them by heating them with a torch and then quenching them in oil. And I know that no one will ever see them, but that's just the way I roll. So at long last, it's finally all fixed and sits proudly in the entryway of their condo. The other family project was this table made from a Singer sewing machine. Founded in Boston, Massachusetts, it was established by Isaac Singer and his business partner Edward Clark in 1851. The history on this particular machine is that it was originally my great grandmother's, which was then inherited by her daughter-in-law, my grandmother, and then used by my mother when she was young. It seems to have floated around the family for many years and finally wound up once again at my mother's house. But she has another one that belonged to her aunt and didn't have room for two, so I got it and converted it to a table for the entryway of her house. The treadle still works, and I plan on taking the sewing machine apart and restoring it, then using leftover wood from the original machine to make a box for it, and then motorize it. Anyway, that's just a quick sampling of what comes through the open wood shop. It's interesting how what starts out being just a quick fix or a side project becomes so much more. Everything seems to have a history to it. And now it's back to finishing up the latest batch of ukes. please come back for more on that and whatever else comes through the door. And thanks for watching.
You're going to have a whole bunch of clips to go through.
I do the same things.